All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mack here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, on Facebook, on their Facebook page. Hello, Facebook. Good morning to you. And streaming live on the relevant app, the group messaging chat app with live interactive podcasts. Check us out on the App Store and, of course, on Google Play, RELEVNT, no A at the end. Easiest way to do a podcast. Lots to get into today as I sit here at the 1010XL podcast studios. Thoughts and prayers in my mind, all our minds heavy on Ukraine. Of course, we pray for them. And listen, any nation under attack against your will. Listen, I pray for all of you, man. I just hope it ends and gets over quickly and we stop this craziness. But nonetheless, I know it's on everybody's minds, and I know I talk about sports, but, you know, we're human too, right? And it affects us. So just thoughts and prayers. Anyone with family over there, friends over there, that's just awful. What's not awful is there's always something to talk about in the National Football League and sports in general in the offseason, pretty much on a daily basis. You know, we got a lot going on here in Jacksonville, which I'll get into. Hall of Fame game where it looks like we're going to be playing in that as Tony Boselli gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. We extend Tyler Shatley. I'm going to get into that. We're going to look at some little free agents. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I'm a read and react kind of guy, but I like looking at, seeing what people think, then going and looking at them and taking a peek and that kind of stuff. Very interesting. And we'll look at the free agencies, the class as well. Little stories around the world of sports. Looks like Major League Baseball, man, trying to find a way to save regular season games with this new CBA. All about money for the most part, isn't everything. And I get it. They want minimum salaries at a certain level, bonus pool, et cetera. Now, the owners, I guess, want playoff expansion to 14. Man, aren't the games long enough? I mean, don't they have to win like 25 games to win the whole thing? You know what I mean? It's like they got this one, this best out of 5, best out of 5, best out of 7, best out of 7, or something like that. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to add it either if I was a player, unless what? You compensated me for it. Yeah, I guess they'll have to figure that one out. But a damn shame. Over in the USFL, how about this? The old USFL owners are suing the new USFL owners. Why? Because they're using the old branding. And they're calling it trademark infringement and have every right to do so. So the new USFL owners, did you just think what? Like you could just use it, or there was a handshake deal? You know what I mean? Doesn't that just seem odd? Like a brand new league, like, yeah, let's just go back. You don't own the old stuff. Like I know you know that, right? Like how do you we'll just use that. Maybe they won't notice. I don't know. More to the story, I am sure, but I found that pretty interesting. Like, why would you even consider unless you got, authorization, like written authorization? Yes, you may use our logo or our whatever, our colors, whatever it is. I don't care, but just odd that would come out. Come out with the USFL trying to kick it off. Their draft is coming up in March, and they're going to be drafting guys. We have no idea who they are, or they had a draft.
Yeah, I was going to say they already had their draft.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Who's having I thought they're having a combine coming up too.
I'm not sure.
Oh, so they had their draft.
I'm not sure, but they definitely had a draft.
Hey, man, I said it before. There's so many guys on that line that could be playing the NFL. They don't make it for whatever reason, but they're good enough to play in the NFL. They get pushed out for whatever reason.
The first overall pick was Jordan Ta'amu from Ole Miss.
Oh,
he was their quarterback a couple years ago before
right.
Corral now. But
that's right.
He was the first overall pick. So I was like, they definitely had it was like maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, you're going to see some good football. I think you're going to see some good football with that. What's also strange is this whole Kyler Murray thing. Like, okay, you want more money. I get it, right? His base salary this year is under $1 million. Which seems, wow, he's way better than $1 million, but he's on his rookie deal. Now, because of his guaranteed money, you can add a $4.5 million bonus to that. So all in, he's at 5.4. He writes him and his agent wrote this. I'm sure most of you seen it on social media. A, why would you write it? B, why would you let it out? Like, just go tell them you want more money. They know you want more money. They're trying to work on it from everything you hear from the owner and the executives there, including Steve Keim. Like, he's our future. He's our long-term investment. Kyler says this. Mort reports, so I know Chris Mortensen, great guy. Mort reports, and I quote, Kyler's frustrated with the franchise, embarrassed by the playoff loss to the Rams, and thinks he's been made the scapegoat. I mean, look, he was awful in the playoff game. We can say that. I mean, he was. Now, he got rattled. Look, he got rattled. The Rams got after him. And, credit the Rams, discredit the O-line. But Kyler Murray was rattled all game long. He performed terribly. He was way off. So he's not the scapegoat, but maybe that's in his mind. I don't know. But I today's day and age, it's just like, is that the way you go about getting I guess so. You get the fan base either behind you or against you. Like, if you want out of a team, right, you do it that way, or you want a new deal. I don't know. They know, look, I know this. If I'm choosing between Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray, I'm taking Murray.
Oh, not even close.
Taking Murray,
not even,
without a doubt. Well, he's got a lot to prove still. He's been very good. His third year not as good.
Right, but I mean,
very good.
Kyler is basically Baker if you made Baker run like a 4.3 40.
Yeah.
He's basically Baker with
arms. They both have good arms.
Yeah, they're basically the same guy, other than Kyler has elite speed.
Yeah.
Like he's a fast quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, he's quick as get out. Yeah, he's tough to get down. But again, he didn't perform well. You can get to the QB, but just an odd way to go about it. I guess that's what you do, to get the attention on you. But I don't know. That would really turn me off, if I was the GM.
Right.
Like,
also,
what is that? I'd call his agent and be like, what the beep is that?
Right.
I mean, really, be a man and come sit in front of me and let's talk about it. Like, what
also,
is this?
Who's
garbage?
Like, I thought this was when Chris Mortensen, I remember when he reported all that stuff, and I thought, like, who's making him the scapegoat?
I know. That's got to be in his brain.
You know what I mean?
Bad.
Like, who's right?
But that wasn't totally his fault that they lost the game or got blown out. I mean,
tons of quarterbacks have bad games, man. Right. Tom Brady has skunk games,
no
and
doubt.
no one,
especially when you're getting harassed every single snap.
I don't recall anyone of note after that game being like, "Yeah, Kyler's just not the guy. They got to move on from him." Like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like,
no,
what are we talking about?
Not.
Like,
but I was surprised he was so rattled.
True,
because he was pretty rattled. He almost looked scared, like he was pretty rattled. You know what I mean?
That pick six they gave up, where he didn't want to get a safety,
right?
That was bad.
Yeah,
that was really bad.
Yeah. Again, that
was a lot of offensive line. Yeah,
pressure will do it to you. Hopefully, Mike Caldwell here in Jacksonville, the new DC, who says he loves disrupting the QB. That's what we see. A lot of people saw the Super Bowl. 208 million people watched the Super Bowl. And how about this? 90% of TV users watched Super Bowl 56. 90%. If you were watching TV, you were 90% of you were watching the Super Bowl. It's a cool little stat. I thought so anyway. All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars going to the Hall of Fame game, taking on the Raiders. 2022, August 4th. Played in the Hall of Fame game in 1995 against Carolina Panthers, both the first year of each franchise. Pretty cool. Got to walk the halls of the Hall, go look at all my old, heroes of the Bears and, the old linebackers and such throughout the league, and just the great players. Seeing the bus is very cool. Played in that game, was a rookie, free agent, trying out. I think I was like 7th on punt team, although I did log a tackle on punt and a couple at the goal line. So not a bad day. But big news there. Tony Baselli getting in. Of course, the Jags playing in that game. I think it's awesome. And, yes, I'm going to do my best to be there. And I'm sure a lot of you fans will, too. That'll be a special weekend with Tony Baselli going in the Hall of Fame, and well-deserved, as I'll always say, and been saying for a long time. All right, Jaguars extend Tyler Shatley, the center, to a 2-year deal, 2-year extension. Good money, good for him. He's earned it. Look, he's shown that he can fill in when needed. He can start if you need him to. Do I think you could upgrade him as a full-time starter? I do. Remains to be seen if Linder stays. I don't think this move has anything to do with whether he stays. You go get, one of the free agents at center. Who my pick would be? It'd be the guy out of Tampa if they went that route, Jensen. But a good move, good solid move, bird in hand kind of move, right? You know what you get out of him. He's solid. If you need him to back up, he's your guy. If you need him to start, he's your guy. And if he ends up being the starter, then good for him. It'll all depend on his strengths, which, I think with that zone blocking, he should do well with that. But nonetheless, whether he's the starter or not, it's a good signing by the Jaguars. Looking, at the different tackles in free agency and in the draft coming up, very interesting. You're starting to see, and I know it happens as you get closer, to the draft. Big news, Evan Neal not working out at the combine. I don't know if it's that big a news. I mean, I want to see him work out. I wouldn't run the 40 if I'm him. For what? He's 6'7", like 350. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? I want to see him move. I want to see him shuffle. I want to see him punch a little bit. I want to see him move in space back and forth. I don't know why he's not doing that. Who knows with, the whole bubble and the COVID restriction, who knows? Maybe guys just like, whatever. I'm gonna wait till my pro day and I'll perform then. I wish he was competing. The guys I do give a pass, I didn't always give a pass, but I give a pass now are the quarterbacks. I wouldn't always throw at the guy. I would throw if I was unknown or, drafted, like maybe if I'm projected fifth, later in the draft, maybe increase my draft status by, hitting on a few balls to receivers. But if I'm a first, second, third pick, I may not throw just because they're not your receivers. They're guys that you've never run routes with before, and you miss them, and they may not downgrade it that big of a deal, but excuse me, they do downgrade it. So I can see that, but a tackle not performing, I don't know. Maybe he's injured. Maybe he needs more time. Maybe he wants to, get in better shape. Who knows? But he will not work out at the combine. I don't even think he's going to the combine, excuse me, which is interesting. You think he would with, just the medical and get that all done. But again, you could do that at your pro day. You're seeing other offensive tackles being named, maybe not at number one, but as top prospects in the draft. Ikem Ikono, I've seen number from NC State. Big guy, can move. And Charles Cross, OT from Mississippi State. I have not seen him play. But if he's starting tackle in the SEC, he's got to have some talent. There's no doubt about that. Going to be interesting what we do there. I think you have to look at free agency. And again, look, you look at the tackles, offensive tackles that are available in free agency. Armstead out of the Saints. Orlando Brown Jr. with the Chiefs. You're not getting him. Dwayne Brown, 37 years old. I don't know. It's not Jason Peter, you know what I mean? Be a good player at one time, but actually he's a 5-time Pro Bowler, but he didn't have a good year last year, getting up there in age, maybe breaking down. And then there's Eric Fisher, who was the second pick in the draft at one time, used to be with the Chiefs and the Colts. He's up for free agency. I just, other than Armstead, I don't know. I don't think, and you're not getting Brown. If you could get Brown Jr., I'd go after Brown Jr. I would take him over Neal. I would. He's young. He's mean. He's massive. He's big. I mean, can move. He's good. He's what an upgrade for Kansas City. That guy's going to be good for a long time. He's a mountain of. But you're not going to get him. But Dwayne Brown or Eric Fisher, they're not better than Cam. And Cam, you let Cam walk, which is fine if you do. Then you're going with one of the Evan Neal and Little or whoever else. But and there's some other tackles down the road. That kid from Northern Iowa that's making, I think his name's Henning, throwing people around. Got a nice, temperament at 6'7", too. Big guy. But, I mean, listen, you got some options there. Wide receiver, everyone's talking about DaVante Adams. I don't know. Are you throwing everything? Does he want to come here? I don't know. He's going to have options. Where do you rank the Jags? Even if you do pay more money. Is that it for him? Is it all about money, or is it about money and going to a good team or a team that's close? I don't know. And not having Aaron Rodgers. They've got chemistry. You know what I mean? If they go together, it's a different story, but I don't know. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be real interesting.
Thing is, though,
he's still a great player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not. I don't know if I'm breaking the bank for DaVante Adams. I don't know.
Oh, I absolutely would.
Yeah,
I think he's unbelievable. But the thing is,
he is. But would he be unbelievable here? Is the question.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable there because he is unbelievable. But he's also in an unbelievable system with an unbelievable quarterback, and they highlight him, which they would here. He's got is he willing to be patient with Trevor? Trevor's got to get better on those deep throws, man. He's got the arm, but he's very inaccurate.
Right, but
and a lot of DaVante's, short and take off. He's the one that's going to catch over the middle and make something happen.
Right.
I'm not don't get me wrong. If they did, I'd be like, all right, great. But I don't know. Sometimes when you grab somebody from one system and bring them into yours, it's not the same success.
Yeah.
Might be.
The thing is, like, with DaVante is, even if Aaron Rodgers is traded or retires or does whatever he does and he's not in Green Bay,
yeah,
wouldn't you still franchise him if you're the Packers?
Who, DaVante?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Totally.
Like people
you're not letting him out.
Right. Like people keep saying, let's wait to see on what Aaron Rodgers does. Well, it's like, okay, if I'm a Packers GM,
right,
I don't care who's my quarterback. I want DaVante Adams for them to throw to.
Totally. Totally.
And of course he's worth $18 million for 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
So
without
I was
question.
like, I mean, it almost, to me, what Aaron Rodgers does is almost immaterial. You're going to franchise DaVante Adams regardless.
Right. Well, you can't franchise Rodgers.
Well, right, exactly.
Right. So he would be the only guy.
And yeah,
and rightfully so.
I feel like a lot of people think, if Rodgers, goes to Denver, he retires, then DaVante Adams will hit the. It's like no. Why would you ever let him out of your building?
Would you offer Green Bay the number 1 pick overall for DaVante Adams if you're the Jags? If they tagged him and you said, "Hey, I'll trade for him. I'll give you my number 1 pick."
Like a tag and trade kind of thing.
Yeah.
I probably
no. They'd have to redo his deal. No. That's part of the deal. Like he'd have to get a new contract.
Like the Jaguars redo his deal. Yeah, I probably would.
Would you really?
Actually, I mean,
okay. Let me throw this in because I'm starting to think like, what if? Okay, say DaVante, take DaVante out. What if you could grab A-Rob and a Christian Kirk instead of DaVante and maybe keep Chark? Would that be a better deal? And then keep number 1?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
The because of the volume of people,
Look, I Gallup and got the injuries bother me. Look, Godwin with the ACL, not so much. ACLs you come back from, especially today, day and age. You come back from an ACL relatively quickly. I mean, you could be ready, even though it happened in December. You could be ready by the next September.
One thing I really like about the 3 you just said, A-Rob, Chark, and Kirk, all 3 of those guys give you something a little different.
Yeah,
you vary Trevor's weapons a lot more. With
I agree, and then you get some stability with A-Rob, right? He's going to catch it, and he's a veteran. Kirk at a number 3 at the minimum. Great speed. Now you're really good. Now you're really, taking advantage of that safety on the other side. And if Chark, look, here's a crazy idea. What if you tag Chark and let Cam walk and draft Neal and then do that trio we just put together with Kirk and A-Rob and Chark?
I would still
Neal,
Little. I would still sign Chark. I'd sign him to like a 3-year deal as cheap as I can get. That's true. You're right. Of course, yeah.
He may not. He may sit there because here's the deal. I think, at least in my opinion, if Cam walks, he'll get a big deal. He will.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to pay him. If Chark walks, I'm not as confident, but I guarantee you somebody will take a chance on a young kid that's tall, can go get the football, and can run really fast.
And inconsistent.
It hasn't been utilized.
Inconsistent, but you've seen him make plays on an NFL field.
And hasn't been fully utilized, and there's other I agree. He's underperformed as well. Truth on this earth is always somewhere in the middle. Right? It's true.
Right. And I definitely agree with you about Cam, because take away Armstead, Cam is the best tackle on the market.
Yeah. Well, right? Orlando Brown Jr. is pretty, but he's going
but he's not going to hit the market. Right. Of course, he would be second, or maybe even first, because he's healthy.
Well, they traded a first pick for him.
Yeah, they did.
Would you for him?
Would I trade the first overall pick to get Orlando Brown?
He's only what? How old is he? 25?
He's not old at all.
24.
He's new to the left tackle position because he was at right, but he's really good.
So Neal in the
he's healthy.
Level. Yeah. That'd be a good one-on-one.
He'll cost some money, but that's fine. He's my left tackle. I'll pay. I'll pay whatever I got to for a left tackle.
Got to.
I would do that.
Yeah. Isn't it fun playing with other people's money?
But
I love it,
dude. I'm at the point where like any. Not any, obviously. Obviously, it depends on who it is and the competition, whatever, and the money, and there's a lot of factors. But I'm at the point, man, where most of the time, if you present to me a halfway logical trade where we're giving away draft capital and getting proven players in return, I'm at the point where I want to say yes every time because I've just seen
young players too, not old players,
right? Because I've seen draft bust after draft bust after draft bust here, and I am I'm sure you can relate to this. I am so sick and tired of hearing about the cap space and the draft capital the Jaguars have.
Yeah, right.
Until that translates
who cares?
To good football players wearing teal on Sunday, I don't care.
Yeah, last year, same. We had a ton of draft cap.
Right, and you got Urban Meyer talking about state income tax. And shut up. Until that means good players, I don't care.
All right, listen, I'm going to add to this playing with other people's money scenario, okay? You tag Chark. You get Kirk and A-Rob, okay? You let Cam walk. You let Linder walk, and you go get Jensen. And he's your center.
And then you draft Neal?
Or trade the one pick over. They're not gonna take. No, I don't know. I don't think the Chiefs would give up Orlando Brown Jr. I wouldn't. Not with Pat Mahomes. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't do that.
And there's no one.
Even if you don't trade, you get Neal. I would take that.
This is the least valuable the first overall pick has been in a while.
Yeah, and there's no one because you know what happens. Draft,
of course.
Somebody's going to rise. Neal's going to be now he can't miss. Did you see the way that guy moved? If he goes, that's why I can't wait to see him move because if he can just move really well at his size. He's massive. By the way, have you seen the dude? I don't even remember his name, from Minnesota, I think. 6'9", 400-pound left tackle. They think he's going to play. He's from, I think, Austria or something like that.
Oh, what? I have no idea who this guy is.
I'm not kidding. Look him up. You got to look him up. I think he's from University of Minnesota.
You're describing Shaquille O'Neal to me.
I know. He's going to be, they think he's going to be a late first-round pick. He's 6'9". They say 380, but I read where he's 400 pounds.
My God.
I mean, how do you get around that if he can even just step a little?
I mean, he's going to have to drop some weight, obviously.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Or else he'll get hurt.
Man, 6'9".
But to your same point, though, like on the other side, what if Aiden Hutchinson goes and runs some crazy 40 or something?
I agree.
And
there's something to think there. But
then, that happens every year in the draft.
Right, and then how about this? Thibodeau, if he stayed for his last year, he may have the production or more that, look, Hutchinson's best year was his last year. Prior to that, he didn't.
I would take Thibodeau.
4 sacks, I think, in his career.
I would take Thibodeau over Hutchinson.
I think I would, too, just because of the upside.
Yeah.
Especially Thibodeau will test. I'm imagining he's going to test better overall. He's not as tall. Hutchinson's a big dude. He's 6. How tall is Thibodeau? Like 6'4"? 6'3"?
I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to tell you an accurate number. I can look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be happy for the young man if he runs a great 40, Hutchinson, and moves really well. He's a big guy. He's only 265, but if he can move, add some weight, 275.
Says Thibodeau is 6'5", 258.
Yeah, he's going to move a lot better than Hutchinson, I think.
Hutchinson 6'6", 265.
265, yeah. We'll see. Maybe, hey, look, that's what the combine's for. That's what these workouts are for. One of my teammates in Boston College was Mike Mamula. You guys remember Mike Mamula got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles 9th overall? His combine was ridiculous. 6'4", like 260, ran under a 4.5, I think, or close to 5.4s. Jumped, moved, got himself into the first round. Now, granted, he played outside backer at BC, and he had double-digit sacks his junior and senior year. He could rush the passer. The Eagles tried to make him a defensive end, and not just because he was my teammate. He was much younger. He's like 3 years younger than me, but a great dude. I'll always defend the fact that he should have never been playing a 4-3 D end. He was never big enough. He was just 260 pounds as a 4-3 D end. You better be running a 4-3 like Dwight Freeney and short where nobody can.
Well, dude, you're saying they can move like that should be in a 2-point stance, right?
Yeah, totally. But anyway, that's what the combine can do for these guys.
Well, it's like
or it can go the other way.
It's like John Ross a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Set the 40 record.
Oh, yeah.
Drafted in the top 10. You never heard from him again.
No, right. Well, I will say this because one thing we failed to mention, I wrote it down, though. You think about, so instead of, just adding DaVante Adams with a big, that's all you'd probably get for the receivers, and then you're sticking with Jones and Chenault and Agnew. I think Agnew, they should look at trying to make like Tyreek Hill. I think he may not be Tyreek Hill, but I think he's got some of that in him.
Move him all over the place.
I would look at how they use Tyreek Hill and use Agnew. I'd still have him return kicks, but I'd implement him into my offense.
Jet sweeps and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, remember the second game against the Colts, they gave him that jet sweep. Mm-hmm. Cam was able to seal off that edge on the left side.
Yeah, he took right off. Yeah.
Just dusted everybody.
Yeah, he did.
He's got that. He's got the speed.
Totally. So, and then you figure out Marvin Jones and Chenault. If Marvin's your 3, great. You know what I mean? Or a 4. And then Chenault, I just don't know. He's got a lot to prove. Maybe his game gets better, but he's got to get a lot better, man.
For both of those guys, it doesn't make financial sense to walk away because you're getting both of them for not much. You're getting Chenault on a rookie deal.
I'm not cutting them.
Right.
I'm letting them go to camp, letting them compete, and let's see who's my top, 6 receivers, right?
Right.
I'm not getting rid of those, especially Chenault.
I think
he's too young.
It's kind of unfortunate because he played, I really like his production back half of the year, but it doesn't seem like if they actually go out and get a couple of bodies, there's probably not going to be room for Treadwell to make the roster.
No.
I don't think.
It depends who they add, right?
Of course. Yeah, you're right.
If you've got just DaVante, you may keep Treadwell.
Yeah, it's like your 5th, 6th guy.
Or, or throw him, at
if you don't re-sign
on the
Chark,
other side, right?
If you let Chark walk.
Well, I think you're not, if you go Adams, you're not keeping Chark.
Well, right, for sure.
He's gone. So exciting times, though. A lot going on. Combine starts what? Today? It's March 1st. Happy March, everybody.
I know.
How about that? St. Patty's Day, Lent.
It's getting warm again.
For those of you that practice Lent, we as a family decided last night we're giving up dessert for Lent. Yeah. We like cookies. We like ice cream. It was either that or coffee. My wife's like, no way on coffee. We don't always do it, but we're like, then we got my oldest on FaceTime. She's down in Flagler. We're like, all right, we're giving up sweets for Lent, which I like because it takes the fat right off.
Get nice and trim.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. So,
dude, my weakness.
It is tough because that sugar high.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that first 4 days can be rough, but once you get through it, because I've done it before, you don't crave it. And when you don't crave it, it's bizarre. It's like you just don't even think about it.
So is that that's your big weakness, is like sweets?
I love, especially at night, cookies, ice cream.
I know. You're like watching a movie or something, and it's just like
after
perfect.
dinner.
Yeah,
we always have family dinner on Sunday night. Not every night. I can't eat ice cream every night, but man, so good.
My weakness is fries.
Yeah,
dude, I could probably.
Yeah, but fries.
I wouldn't want to, but I could give up sweets for like a year and probably just not think about it.
Yeah,
fries, dude. Yeah, if I don't have fries for a couple of days, I'm like, oh my god,
I need some fries.
I need to go to Chick-fil-A, bro. I need some waffle fries. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm like,
great fries, no doubt. All right, hope you guys find your great fries out there as well. All right, man, just a lot going on. Always a fun time talking about it. Right here, I catch it up with Tommy Mack on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com, on Facebook, of course, and on the relevant app, the group messaging chat app with live interactive podcasts. Go to the App Store or Google Play. Free download. Go search. You'll see all of our collections. Pro Sports Fanatics is loaded with pretty much every team, every professional sport, including your Jaguars, Jaguars Fanatics channel, every team represented. Just go see all the fans that are interacting, listening to podcasts, making podcasts. We have interns that are doing articles, putting on the channels, great topics to talk about. Just fans getting together, talking about their favorite team. All right, that'll do it for me. Until next time, stay safe and be cool. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack.